Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, the piggies are very pleased to see you. They're wondering whether you've got any food for them. Or maybe not, they've all disappeared. What's this? You're gonna do a circle for us? Oh, are you a good boy? And in today's video, I wanted to chat with you about our plans for expanding the herd and also offer some advice on recommended combinations of guinea pigs. So in case you're looking to add to your own herd or you're thinking about getting guinea pigs and you're not quite sure what to go for, then hopefully this video will come in useful. As it is getting rather chilly out there these days, I'm going to go ahead and use their snuggle sack under here. Callie, if you want to vacate, thank you. Under the pad. In there like that. So at the moment we're very lucky and I'm very aware of that with this current situation. These three get on very well in mostly very peaceful harmony. And I'd say that this is partly luck and also partly down to the choices and decisions that I've made when adding to the herd. Growing a guinea pig herd is not always as easy as it sounds though. The simple fact is that bonds can break, guinea pigs can fall out, and they might not always like whoever we try to introduce them to. And we need to remember as owners that they have their unique characters and personalities, and we kind of need to respect that, respect them and their space, and try and build a herd that works around that. So really, there's no totally risk-free combination when it comes to groups of guinea pigs. However, patterns do arise and some combinations are thought to be more successful than others. So I wanted to chat about male, female and mixed groups, the experiences that I've had and those of others that I've learnt about, including from rescues. We're going to start with males because I don't think that they get put first often enough. And the thing that you might hear about males is that they are more difficult to bond than females. And you might even read on some websites online that males should not live together. And that's not true. Two males can often live together very, very happily and have a very stable bond. Personally, I think the problem with males is that it's harder to introduce two adult males successfully, especially when they are sort of in their prime years, from about 4 months to 2 years old. They've got all of these hormones coursing through their body, and their natural instinct is to defend a territory and be the boss and be the dominant one over a group of females, as it would be in the wild. So when they are confronted with another adult male who might be in the same sort of prime body condition as them, bonding them can be difficult. And whilst females, for example, might not particularly like whoever you're trying to introduce them to, they will tolerate them. Whereas with males, it's a straight yes or no. And if it's no, they're going to break out into a fight. And if we start to think about adding a third male or even having a big group of males, then the chances of that working are quite small. That said, there are always exceptions to the rule, and I have seen examples where there's 3 or more males living happily together. However, they tend to be very large custom setups with an experienced owner that might even have handpicked those males based on their personalities and their likelihood of getting along with other males. You might have heard of Saskia from Los Angeles Guinea Pig Rescue, and she will talk about her Buddha boys that are naturally calm personalities, and that's why she can get them to live together happily. But some good combinations of boars and those that you might see in rescues are 2 pre-bonded males who know each other, perhaps they've even grown up together and they get along really well. And what you might also see is an older male paired with a younger male, and that bond is likely to work in the beginning. There's always a risk, just as there is with 2 very young boars, that they will reach sort of their teenage hormonal years and start falling out or start showing more dominance behaviour to each other. But I think that more often than not, it it does work out okay as long as that bond is strong in the beginning. And that's why with boars, it's really useful to have a rescue on hand who can help you with bonding and find you the right personality combinations that will work if you want to own a pair of boars. And I'd also say, please don't be put off by boars because of this. Often boars are just so full of personality, so full of character, and they are really easy to get along with. They're often more cuddly, more confident and outgoing than females, and you can form a really close, strong bond with them. That's not saying that there aren't females that are like that. However, more often than not, females tend to be a bit more shy and a bit less willing to interact with us as readily as boars do. And I'd go as far as to say, if you're looking at getting guinea pigs for the first time, then really do consider a pre-bonded pair of boars from a rescue. I'm keeping an eye on rescues and who's up for adoption at the minute, and honestly, there are so many absolutely gorgeous, beautiful pairs of boys out there, and no one wants them because females always take precedence. So really do consider boars if you're going to be a first-time piggy owner. I think you will have a fantastic experience with them. Okay, I'm starting to feel a bit sorry for females now because I've bigged up males so much. But the big plus with female guinea pigs, even though they might be a little bit shyer, is the fact that they can more easily live in bigger groups than just a pair. So if you want to own 3, 4, 5 guinea pigs, then females are going to be your go-to choice. Now that doesn't mean that introducing females, especially adult females in their sort of prime dominance, like we were talking about with males, is going to be easy. Some female guinea pigs will just not like each other from the start. But one thing I think you can get with females is that whilst they might tolerate each other, if they're not ultimately a good match personality-wise, then you can start to see bullying behaviours emerge, and you could get a little bit worried about, you know, how stable is their bond and do they actually like each other? And I'd say that is normal with females to a certain degree because they are just diva pigs. They can be very dramatic at times, and sometimes it's just clearly that they're over-exaggerating in a situation. Like if one female wants to steal the bed off another, the other doesn't want to give up their bed, then, you know, you might get a lot of complaining noises and a lot of squeaking and a lot of general drama. But it doesn't mean to say that they aren't still happily living together. As well with females, things can change over time. It can with males as well, but females, I'd say their dominance behaviour is very driven by their hormones. So when things like ovarian cysts happen or just the natural ageing process, you can see changes in how dominant they are towards their cage mate. So be prepared for that as well. So don't think that females are always the naturally obvious, easy choice. It really does depend on the personalities and characters that you've got. Now moving on to mixed groups, which is where we have one combination that is often recommended as the most stable bond when it comes to guinea pigs, and that is having one male with a group of females. Now obviously we don't want any babies here, so the male either has to be neutered or all of the females have to be spayed. Usually it's the male that gets neutered, although more and more people are starting to preventively spay their guinea pigs to stop them from getting ovarian cysts, are female guinea pigs that is. But this combination of one male and a group of females is thought to work because it reflects more what they have in the wild, where it's one dominant male and he will sort of rule over his little group of females and stop them bickering amongst each other so much. And that is actually something that I see with Nacho. Despite appearances, he is the dominant piggy, and I think he does have a calming effect on Phoebe and Callie in the herd, and I hope with what other females that we add to the herd, he will also be a good influence in stopping the females from bullying and bickering each other. But again, I have to say that it doesn't always work, and there are examples where they've tried to introduce a neutered male and things have just gone horribly wrong, and there's fights from the beginning. And as we know, when there's fights, when you're trying to introduce them, it's basically a no-go. Those guinea pigs won't be able to live together. So thinking about our ideal combinations here, I'd say that you've either got a pre-bonded pair of males, and then you have pretty much any group of females, whilst remembering that individual characters and personalities are important. And then what's often thought to be one of the most stable combinations is one neutered male with a group of females. I think you're all wanting to know what my future plans are for the herd, and from what we were talking about earlier, it is sort of obvious, you know, he's still in the same position. We have Nacho, the neutered male, and my ideal would be to be able to add 1, 2, maximum 3 female guinea pigs to the group. Now, like anyone in this situation, I'm kind of aware that things might not work out and I need to have a backup plan in place if bonds break. Now, working with a rescue is always good because you might not find yourself in a situation where you're having to divide cages or have separate enclosures, because you can take the guinea pig back and adopt another one instead. Unless you've already fallen in love with them, then that can be hard. So that's the kind of direction we're going in with the herd. And the next question would be, are you going to get them all at once? And the answer is probably not. Firstly, because it can be much harder to introduce one group of guinea pigs to another. So I don't want to upset what is already a good sort of stable bond here by, say, putting in 2 adult females at the same time. I might get an adult female or 2, but they won't be at the same time, and I will probably at some point look to getting another young guinea pig. I say another, I mean Callie was really the last young one that we got. I have been looking at rescues, I've been looking at who's popping up, I've been kind of scoping out single guinea pigs that I'm interested in, but the other thing is that it's not really going to happen until December at the earliest, and that is because we do have a big holiday coming up in November, which is only like 5 weeks away now, so that's kind of scary, and I can't be building the cage, putting all the guinea pigs in and adding more guinea pigs because it would just be too much for the people who are going to be looking after them while we're away. But that's kind of where we're at with the herd. It's all very exciting. I am incredibly excited to be sharing with you the cage building. That's the next step, really. I do have other videos planned and they're going to mix in and amongst, but yeah, I hope that you will stay tuned and follow along with everything that's going to be happening next door. And I hope this video, even though I know it was very waffly, has helped you if you were wondering about what guinea pig combinations work and whether to go for males or females or a mix. And I would say that that mix also is, you're more likely to find that in rescues. And some rescues do actually have a policy of neutering all of their males, such as Neville's Nest Rescue, where we have gotten Nacho from, even though we neutered him ourselves, and Callie from previously as well. So that's where I'm going to leave this video for today, guys. I hope you have enjoyed. I hope you've enjoyed this more chatty vibe. Let me know if you did. But we will see you very, very soon. And as always, thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.